Okay, good evening, everyone. So tonight we're going to do what we normally do at the first Zoom class of the month is talk about the gifts with purchase. Now, something to keep in mind whenever we do that, maybe you're thinking, oh, Kim, I'm not going to spend much this month. I'm just going to keep it at 50. So I'm not going to get any of those. So I'm not going to attend. Don't forget, guys, when we do this, we're not doing this to say, hey, go out and spend 300. We're doing this because this gives us a variety to talk and educate you about, because maybe you don't want to spend or can't spend that kind of PV that month, but maybe you've been wondering how to use lemongrass or what ways could you use vanilla. So that's what gives us variety in this class, because we know once a month we're going to talk about whatever the sales or the gifts with purchase are. And so you're going to learn about each of those products. Okay, so keep that in mind. So the gifts with purchase this month, let's start. 100 PV. Now, some of you may have seen my video either on my page or the All Party page talking about the 100 PV. This month, instead of getting an oil or a product, we are getting 10. If you do it on your subscribe to save order, you're getting 10 bonus points back. So just very briefly, some people would say to me, well, that's a dud, Kim. Last month I got a $12 lemon free, and this month they're only giving me 10. We're not thinking right when we think that way, because 10 bonus points, for me to get 10 bonus points, I would have to spend at least $40, okay, because I get 25% back. If you're at the 20% on your subscribe to save, you'd have to spend 50. So that means at 100, I'm getting 35 bonus points back, when I wouldn't typically get that many unless I spent $140. So Young Living is saving me $40 and giving me the 10 extra points. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you if you're on subscribe to save. Because when you realize that's what Young Living has done, that's a pretty cool thing, I think, to get those 10 extra bonus points. So that's what happens at 100 PV on your subscribe to save. At 190, you're going to get the large lemongrass. So what are some of the ways you can use lemongrass? First of all, this is a very clean smell. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Lemongrass is. It's a good one. Some people like it in their diffuser, maybe alone. I typically would add something else with it if I put it in the diffuser. Many people love lemongrass to put on their wool dryer balls to help freshen up their laundry. That's probably one of the more common reasons I see people post about lemongrass. Maybe you need some soft tissue support, especially athletes, or maybe you've done something and your soft tissue on your body needs support. Lemongrass is a good one for that. Maybe your joints don't feel like they used to. Maybe they're aging like most of us are. Then lemongrass would be good for your joints. And the way to do that, I mean, you can put it directly on your joints or just add a little bit of carrier oil if you want, and then apply the lemongrass as well. Also, emotionally, lemongrass, in the research I was reading, is known to be very good to help clear the mind and give people a sense of hope. So in other words, to help just push out the negativity, lemongrass may be one you want to consider, maybe putting in the diffuser or just doing the scent tent, okay, and trying it that way. One other thing about lemongrass, and I have not tried this yet, but I want you to know I'm going to, because I had not seen this until tonight. Lemongrass with cedarwood, they say, is very good for sleep support. Now, I love cedarwood for sleep support, but I would have never thought to put lemongrass in it, because I would think along the lines of just like lemon and being uplifting, and I don't want that when I go to bed, but I'm going to try that and see. Lemongrass with cedarwood for sleep support. So you get that free at 190 and your 10 bonus points. Then you also get this one, Geranium, bourbon. If you're a Kentucky girl like me, just call it bourbon. Geranium bourbon. But this one comes free as well. If you like geranium, you're probably going to like this one. Donna, what was it you said you felt about the difference between geranium and geranium bourbon smell-wise.
So I like regular geranium, but it's to me, it's a very strong smell. This is a very light, it's that toned down. So I can stick this straight up, not straight up my nose, but straight to my nose. And it's very light. I feel like you could wear this like a light perfume.
Yes, that's one of the things I was going to mention about it. This is one people are using for perfumes. It's also good if you want shiny hair. It's recommended geranium bourbon. A natural glow to your skin, then this one would be a good one. And DIY perfume was the other thing on my list to mention about geranium bourbon. So you could use it in your diffuser, you could use it for your skincare. Oh, and one other thing, the really interesting thing about this, and I love the way they said it, even kept in the kitchen for any knife mishaps.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that was straight from Young Living. So yeah, knife mishaps. I thought, oh, that's good to know. Geranium bourbon. So all of that at $190. At $250 this month. You notice geranium bourbon, we just got that last year, by the way. So that's another month that they're giving us something that's rather new. The other thing, $250, you're going to get Bloom. Now, many of you may know we have the Bloom cleanser, moisturizer. I love the moisturizer and cleanser. There is also an oil. Now, just so you'll know, the oils within this blend is oils like vetiver. I'm just going to read them. I've got them wrote down here. Vetiver, blue cypress, Davana, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, clove, jasmine, carrot seed, spearmint, geranium, and sacred frankincense. So it is loaded with oils. And if you have any of the Bloom products, this very much. If I was blindfolded, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you, was I holding up the Bloom cleanser or moisturizer or the actual Bloom oil. Smells very much the same way. So this one, again, that means it's very good for your skin. This would be a wonderful one if you wanted a little extra moisture in your skin. Put a drop of this in your hand when you put your Bloom moisturizer. Or it's even recommended maybe you use the Art Intensive Moisturizer. That's okay. Add a drop of Bloom. It's very, very good for your skin. And it's very hydrating for your skin. And when we hit really any time of year, for me anyway, but for you all in Florida, your summers are very hot. I'm sure to a certain extent that can be, even though you may sweat, it still could be very drying on the skin at times. So you may need a little extra moisturizer. So maybe consider putting the Bloom in your moisturizer. DIY perfumes. That is another thing that many people have been using the Bloom for, is making their own roller perfumes spray. Okay, at $300, one of the favorites of many, many people is the vanilla oleo resin. Now, I don't call it an essential oil because in order to get this, it's extracted different. So it is referred to as an oleo resin. This scent, for many of us, we just love it. I have to tell you, for me, let's say, because geranium, since we were talking about that earlier, is a very strong smell to me. I use it, and I know it has many good benefits for me, but it is a little strong. So if I was to put geranium in a diffuser, I would add a drop of vanilla because it just calms it down enough and changes the scent just enough. It doesn't overwhelm me. So my reason for saying that is maybe there's an oil that you have that maybe you need it. It's good for you. Maybe it's good to help you relax, but the smell overwhelms you. So then you can't relax. Try adding a drop or two of vanilla and see if it changes your mind. Vanilla is very good for me anyway, when I'm dealing with any oil like that I now have. And I'm like, what do I do with this? Add a drop of vanilla and see if you don't like it much better in your diffuser. Vanilla is also very good. A lot of these are very good for skin, as you can see this month. Vanilla is very good for your skin. It can help condition your skin. It's very good for moisturizing your skin. So again, it's another one that you could make a DIY, make your own skin serum, if that's what you want to call it, with vanilla. And having said that, the reason why you may want to do that is because the other thing you get free at $300 is this bigger roller with amethyst in it. It's a beautiful roller. I love it. As you can see, here's mine. It's full right now. I use this one all the time. It's one of my very favorite rollers, but this comes free at the 300 PV level. So one of the things you can do to make a perfume blend would be, now, like I said, this is a bigger roller. I tried to look up because I got mine last year at the convention. This came, and I cannot verify how big this ml is, but I wanted to. I don't know. I think at first I didn't think it was 15, but I do think it is because it's smaller and round, and it says 15 on the bottom.
Yeah, it does say 15 on the bottom, so I think that's what it is.
I do too. I think it is. It's just a slender one compared to our 15L this way. So a gorgeous perfume blend that you could try would be 20 drops of Bloom that you get free, with 5 drops of vanilla that you get free, and 2 drops of geranium, or in this case, since you're getting geranium bourbon, I would do that. And then top it with a carrier oil of your choice. For me, since it's a perfume, I would do a light carrier oil, either like my V6 or a jojoba. If you actually were like, Kim, I don't want a roll-on perfume, I want a spray one, because some people have little containers like this that actually spray. Then instead of using the carrier oil, use Everclear vodka. It has to be at least 80 proof, I believe. I can always.
Yeah, I think mine was. The one I use for most of my things is 151 proof because the alcohol level is higher.
Right.
The percentage of alcohol is higher.
Mine is higher too, because I remember one of you all saying that. But so I love Everclear when it comes to making perfumes. If you want a spray one, especially. Other than that, you can use a carrier oil. So there you go, girls. That is the 5 things that you get free this month, plus the 10 bonus points at 100 PV. Well, at 100 PV is the 10 bonus points. What I want to tell you about that is, so let's say you turn your order in, your order arrives, you happen to get on your account and you're like, oh, I didn't get the 10 bonus points. No worries. I had to do some digging because my order is already shipped and I didn't get them. And sure enough, finally found it yesterday in one of the little questions and answers from Young Living, and it just wasn't on the main page. Everyone will have their bonus points by the first Wednesday of June. So keep that in mind. So just keep checking back, because you can always look. Now the way the loyalty rewards are on there, you can see when your points were added. So just keep watching. If you don't have it, I think the first Wednesday in June is June 2nd. If you don't have them by then reach out to Young Living, and if you were supposed to get them, if you're subscribed to save, okay? So that is the gifts with purchase. Simple, easy, right? Young Living didn't stop there. When they announced the gifts with purchase this month, if you'll notice, if any of you girls have been with Young Living 6 months or more, but especially if you've been with them over a year, have you noticed every month we are getting specials like we used to get? I felt like when I first joined, we're finally getting back to that routine, and we never know when they're going to throw specials. It is true, a lot of times it seems like they do throw them at us a little more when they have celebrations they like to have or whatever. So they did call this one the Mom's Day celebration, whatever, but it goes all month. The sale is all month, and it's for all of us. So what are they? Well, here we go. There are 5 things again, and I got them all right here. Plus, I meant to have this open. I had my notes on it. Do you know what I forgot to do? I'm going to do it right now before I even do that. I did all of this work, and then what did I forget to do? Show you. Can you guys see that big?
No, I don't know what happened.
Not again.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just see all the little
bitty ones. You didn't see the big ones. I had little graphics. Oh, on all of these. Remember, Donna, I told you I did.
Yes.
Oh, anyway. Okay. Well, I had little graphics for you on those, but Oh, well, such as it is. Okay, so let's start with this then. So there are 5 items on sale this month for the whole month. And the good thing is this includes, you can put these on your subscribe to save. So let's say I'm going to show you the items. Let's say you put together and you end up at 100 PV, okay, on your subscribe to save with sale items that you're getting at already an additional 30% off. Then Young Living gives you your 20% back, which would be 20 points back, plus the additional 10. So you're really going to clean house this month. If these items that I'm getting ready to show you are ones you use regularly, this is the time to stock up, because I am not used to seeing especially 2 of these at 30% off, and I stocked up on them because they're products that we use every day. So let's start with some of the others first. Let's start with this one, Blue Tansy. Have you ever smelled blue tansy, tried blue tansy? I got to put something down because blue tansy is one that over time will almost have a little bit of crystallization to it inside there. And no matter how long you've had it, even when it comes in from Young Living, don't be surprised if that's what the lid looks like. It's blue. It's not coming through the lid, but it changes that lid. People typically either love blue tansy or they don't. Personally, I like it, but I love Valor and I love Peace and Calming. And that is one of the #1 ingredients in both of those. So I like Blue Tansy. Now I'm going to hold this up here again. Do you see the color of that? I know through the camera it probably looks more black, but this is blue. And oh no, I do have something here. I'm barely.
Now your finger's going to be blue.
Yeah. See that? It is blue. It is blue. But, I mean, look, it'll turn your skin blue. But it will absorb in, and in no time, it won't be blue. And why do I mention that? If you want glowing, beautiful skin, if you deal with redness, which I do because of the rosacea, then let me tell you, I do look sort of weird sometimes at night, but Blue Tansy is a wonderful oil to use to make a serum, like a glow serum. And before we get off here tonight, I'm going to share the recipe with you. And I've made this one. It's beautiful. However, your husband, the first time you put it on and walk in the room, is going to be like, what in the world? Because you are going to have a bluish tint to your face, you know, the color of your face. But let me tell you, all night that just absorbs. And when you get up the next morning, your face nowhere. Some people say, oh, it's because your chin was on the pillow. No, even up on my forehead, which is not on the pillow, your body absorbs that in. It hydrates your skin and gives you a nice glow. So it's a wonderful thing to try if you haven't tried it. I really, really enjoy it, especially if you don't mind the smell. And like I said, typically if you really love Valor and Peace and Calming, not always, but if you really love those, chances are you're going to be okay with the Blue Tansy. So this is not an oil that a lot of people will typically buy very often. Why? Well, it's not as easy to get as far as distilling it. And so the price of this oil, rounded off, is basically $100. I think it's $99. But this month, it's the 30% off. So you get this oil for $69, $69, which still, I know for many of us makes it a pricey oil, but now's the chance. If you've been wanting to try it, this is your chance to try it, because then you're still going to get, I think all of you girls are at least at 20, and some of you may be at 25% back already. So you're getting a nice little bit of this back. Okay. So Blue Tansy, beautiful oil. So that's one of them. The other one is a large geranium. Now, we were just talking about geranium a minute ago. There's a lot of uses for geranium, just like there was the Bourbon. It's one of them too that goes in the glow serum I'm going to talk about in a minute. But This one is very good for skincare. I'm just looking down. I want to mention some of these things to add to your moisturizer. So even on your face and skincare, it's very good to use. Remember, geranium as a flower is also very good for us women and just helping support our hormones in general. Okay. Donna mentioned earlier, this is an oil that she applies over her liver. This is an oil I have a roller top on, not this one. I have two of these open. The other one has a roller top on it. I apply it over my heart, or at least somewhere in that area. I hadn't thought about the liver, but I may try that because this is not my favorite scent. Like I said, it can be a little strong. So I would rather apply it over the liver because that way it's not so close to me breathing it in. So that's something that you can use it for as well. Now, here's an interesting one. You can add it to your body lotion as well, but then it says you can put it on your skin before and after swimming to help combat the effects of chlorine.
I have also heard that when I first started Young Living, I saw that some were putting it on the bottom of their children's feet after they came out of the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know that some people who have hot tubs, instead of using chlorine in their hot tubs, use geranium? They don't even use chlorine in their hot tubs. They use, I don't know how much. I don't know if they use I don't know, but that's in my things here. But if you're also, if you do any type of dry brushing, are you familiar with that, where it helps open up your lymphatic system and get things flushing? This is one that they recommend possibly applying before you dry brush. Apply some geranium. The other one, just FYI, even though we're not talking about it this month, but I'm getting ready to do a lymphatic challenge here in a week or two. Some of the leaders are doing one for all of Young Living if they want to do it, and I want to do it. And Citrus Fresh is also another good one. If you're going to do dry brushing, Citrus Fresh is another good one to help drain and open up your lymphatic system and get things flowing. So geranium, so many uses. Skin, hormones, immune system, hair.
Dryer balls.
Dryer balls. Yeah, the list is endless. And it's 30% off again. So this month, instead of being $44.25, this large bottle is $31. Plus on your subscribe to save, you get your percentage back and your free gifts if you qualify. So good one. Now, the next, well, let me go ahead and show you this one. The other thing they have this month is you can get this little, I didn't write down the price on this one, but if you'd like to have a little dropper top, and sometimes it's nice to have one of these, especially if you're going to make the glow serum I'm going to share with you. This is the perfect size to have. Okay, it's this little bottle here, and it's got the little dropper, because that is the best way, in my opinion, to do the glow serum one, is to have a little dropper bottle. So this one's really cute. It says Young Living on it, so it is part of the sale too. But the last two oils on the sale, I'm so excited for these oils, is first of all a large Kobayiba. Kobayiba. Love this oil. Kobayiba also comes in Vitality. So what's the difference between Copaiba and Kobayiba Vitality? Or let's do it this way. That way no one has. True or false, there's a difference between Copaiba and Kobayiba Vitality. Charlene's like, no, that's it. They're the exact same oil. It's just if I was holding up the Copaiba Vitality, I could freely say to you, Marvin uses Copaiba Vitality every day for pain management. Every day. He does not go a day without it. It's very good for him to help with inflammation, okay? To have healthy, we're all going to have inflammation. I don't care who we are. If you're a body, you're going to have inflammation. But to have him, to keep his body more healthy, he uses Copaiba Vitality. And then the other one that we're going to talk about in a minute that's also on sale, he uses it as well. So Copaiba, any thoughts, Donna, as to how you use Copaiba or what you would use it for? I know I'm
I use it in my diffuser sometimes. because it's from a tree, so it's a tree oil, but not like the Northern Lights black spruce. It's more on the frankincense line to me
Yeah.
of trees, because it's like from a resin. It's from a resin, but it is good to put in a capsule. If you have the Vitality, put it in a capsule and with some frankincense and
Yeah.
you can always message me later for the other oil that goes in there. We're live. I mean, we're taping. So,
Yeah.
and it's good for layering, if you want to layer your pan away and layer the Kobayiba and then put your carrier oil on top.
Yeah.
Excellent for that.
If we were talking about Copaiba Vitality, and that's what I'm going to, here, I'll hold one up. It's a white bottle. Copaiba Vitality is if you are having, or if you have young ones or grandchildren, teething, and gum issues, then rub a little bit of Copaiba. Just put a little drop on your finger and rub it right on their gums or your gums. Maybe you're having teeth and gum and you need support there. Rub a little Copaiba on is another way to use it. It's definitely an oil that I think everyone should have in their oily cabinet. Everyone should have Copaiba. I think it gets underrated. Okay. I really, really think this is an oil that is highly underrated. There are many similarities. We won't go into it, but there's many similarities between Copaiba and CBD. Now, yes, they're totally different. Never get confused. I'm not saying they're the same. I'm not. But there are many constituents that are very similar. Okay. So that tells you, and we all know why a lot of people use CBD for pain management and all these other things, then don't underestimate your Kobayiba. Okay. And this one is normally $46 for the big bottle, but it is $32 this month. And my order won't be until Wednesday, but I grabbed me a couple of these big boys because we use them. And to be honest with you, I know it's like you're thinking, oh my goodness, Kim, what kind of person are you? But we use these every day. This one and the one I'm getting ready to talk about. I almost felt like doing an order where I just stocked up on both of these because we use them. And you never see, I mean, I shouldn't say never because it happened. It's rare to see Young Living put these two oils at 30% off. It's just a fact of life. They don't normally put these. So the other one, and this was my absolute, and I'm telling you, I got 5 of these. Frankincense. Frankincense. 30% off. Now, my first thing was when I saw that, I'm like, well, because I already had, once my order came last month, I had already started changing my order for this month, started getting stuff put in there that I knew. And I had frankincense down because I knew Marvin takes this every day, 3 drops every day. And so I'm like, I need to get another. So I had the big bottle down. Okay. A big bottle of frankincense. It always makes me, because it's $78, but it's not easy to, for them to get frankincense. But here's what happens. Because this is 30% off, it's one of the few times that the small bottle is the better deal. Okay, so the small bottle this month, instead of being 31 something, is $22 a bottle. So 3 bottles of this size equals the big bottle. This is 78. 3 of these is 66. Plus, I get my 25% back. So I got 5 of these. I went back and forth. Do I get 4? No. Okay. Then I thought, and I was like, Kim, you got to stop. 5's enough. That's a whole big bottle for him and 2 more little ones. So that's going to last him a little while. But yeah, $22. So if you like frankincense, if you use frankincense, now's the time to stock up on frankincense. Yeah. And this is not a, frankincense to me is, it's one of my precious oils. I don't know, except for one time when I did a challenge with my team, had them actually using every single oil that came in the starter kit in their diffuser, one each day. Other than that, I don't know if I've ever put frankincense in a diffuser.
It's so nice.
I know it's good for sleep. I know a lot of people like it with cedarwood. And so I can't say for sure I've not done it, but it's not something I don't think I've done very often because typically when I think frankincense, I do think calming, but I typically tend to apply it to me, not put in a diffuser. Skin, I do use it in a serum on my face. It's very good for your skin. It's good for your immune system. It's good for your gut. Actually, I don't know anything that frankincense isn't good for. It's good for hormones. If your hormones, are out of whack, or maybe it's as women, maybe it's that time of month or whatever, frankincense is very good to help fight the moody blues and so on, right? So that's a good one to use. And
Orange and frankincense in the diffuser is very nice.
I will try that.
It makes me happy and it's calming because if I'm anxious, orange is one I go to and frankincense. So I don't do it all the time because it is pricey. But Valor's pricey too.
Valor's pricey too.
And I put that in the diffuser.
I do. You're right. It's exactly right. But for some reason in my head, it's not one I have. But I do have 5 coming, so we'll try one in the diffuser, right? So I'll try that this week. Orange and frankincense. I'll have to remember that. Okay, so the glow serum that you could use in your little bottle. So, I'll make sure I say these totals right. So, and that's actually what they call it, glow serum. And you're really going to be blue because this is a lot of drops of this. But it is a little bit bigger of a bottle. So 15 drops of blue tansy. I have to be honest with you. When I've made it, it's been a while, but I don't think I put 15 because that is very, very, very blue. So you may want to put the other in and then just judge for yourself how many of these you want to put in. Okay, but 15 at the absolute most. But that's what it is. It's 15 of everything. 15 blue tansy, 15 frankincense, and 15 geranium. Okay, and then you top it with, I really recommend, since it's a glow serum for your face, you can use B6 that comes from Young Living, but my recommendation, number one recommendation, is rose hip oil. And my second one would be jojoba. Both of those are very light on your skin. They're known to not clog pores at all. So that when it comes to using serums on my face, that's my recommendation. And that's a lot of recommendations. If you look a lot of them that actually teach more about making DIYs. When it comes to your face, typically you'll see those used a lot, jojoba or the rose hip oil. Now, to that, just FYI, if you want, there are a couple things you can add to the glow serum. If you want to try it this way and then maybe the scent is not really yours and you want to add a little something, they recommend you could add 2 drops of rose. Yes, Miss Kitty, yeah, I know. 2 drops of rose or 5 drops of Royal Hawaiian sandalwood. That is, both of those are very, very good for your face. And the other one, and I have not done this, is 7 drops patchouli is another recommendation they say you can add. I'm not a patchouli girl. Just being honest with you, it's not my, the smell, it's just not one of my favorites. So I'm not likely to do that. But some people love the smell of patchouli. And if you're one of those, then maybe you want to put that in your serum. But I do like this glow serum. But again, one other thing about it, make sure, yes. Make sure your pillowcase, okay? Don't use one of your fancy pillowcases, okay? Mine has never stained, first of all, because I make sure I do it when I first lay down, and then I typically do my Bible reading and stuff. So I haven't actually, it's absorbed in probably a good half an hour, but still it's blue. And mine's never stained, but there is the chance, depending on what type of pillowcase you use, it could. So I always recommend just use an older pillowcase, one that you're not bothered if you have a stain on it. But like I said, typically I have it on a good half an hour, at least a half an hour before I go to bed. So I've never had any issue, but I wanted to mention that. Okay, so that's the sell items. And then that's
Charlene has a question.
Oh, yes.
How often do you put it on your face?
I don't do it every night. But I think typically when I've done it, at least once a week. But if I'm in the mood, I try to do it twice a week, especially because I deal with redness and really dry, where my rosacea is acting back up, where I've had a mask on more lately again. It's just really, really dry. And so 2 nights a week is really, really good. Yes, Diane.
How much oil do you add to those drops?
So I use this bottle and I'm looking. Oh, it says it's a 15 ml too. So maybe you don't have a dropper bottle. Maybe you just have an empty large bottle. So I put the drops in and then fill the rest of it with the carrier oil.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what is that? I don't know how much 15 ounce, 2 ounces at the most. I don't know how much a 15 ml is, but that's what I use. But a dropper really is the best when you do this serum. So you can just put a few drops in your hand. And now some people, instead of just putting just that, will put their moisturizer in their hand and then add the drops. And if you want to do that, you can. But typically I don't if I'm doing the serum, because I really want to get the effects of the serum. So, okay. That sale goes on all month, by the way. So whenever you're subscribed to Save Orders this month, that goes on. For 2 of you, this doesn't include Diane or Barb just because they're not on my team. But for Tammy or Charlene, anyone on my team this month that, and I realize I'm not telling you to do this, but if you just so happen to order 300 PV this month, you will be getting a gift from me, an oil from me, okay? Because I have a lot of oils. I have myrrh and a lot of the blends, gratitude, and I have manuka, which is good for the skin, just a whole bunch of oils, and I really just want to spread the love. So if anyone does, and it's all about skin this month, it seems like. I'm not saying that you're going to get a skin one, but I do have a lot like that. But then I also have ones like citronella, the large citronella, and I know this time of year we all need that if we're going outside. So if you happen to order 300 PV this month, and I'll be able to see on my virtual office, and at some point you will get an oil from me. The other thing to share, next Friday, the class is going to be all about the Thieves line. If you saw this week, or yesterday, I guess, Young Living is, for temporarily anyway, at least through August, is going back to if someone buys a starter kit, because I'm a brand partner, and I realize not all of you here are brand partners, everyone I think but Diane, so this wouldn't necessarily apply to her at this point, but if you sign someone up from here on with the Thieves kit through August, or one of the starter bundles, maybe it's the Haven bundle or the Feather the Owl, you are going to get what we used to get, which is not only the 25% of whatever their total PV is, but you're going to get that bonus $25. So wanted to make you aware of that. So that's exciting for all of us that are brand partners. So next week, we're going to teach about that Thieves starter bundle, because it's spring and people think of cleaning, and Barb suggested it when we were talking earlier and we hadn't planned anything yet. So that's what we're going to teach on next week, is that Thieves starter bundle and those products, from toothpaste to cleaner to soap, blah, blah, blah. So if you know anyone interested, don't hesitate to invite them to join us. The other thing is Donna's exciting news about what she got. I'm going to let her tell you.
So I decided to invest in a Zyto scanner. Have any of you heard of Zyto before?
Is that different than the Tovi?
Yes.
Oh.
So iTovi is the little thing that you hold in your hand. It's similar, because the same way that iTovi reads your impulses in your body, this Zyto does the same thing, but it's a handset. So it looks kind of weird. It's like a little space age thing. It looks like a hand, and then you put your hand on it for a few minutes. But what it does is it reads all your impulses in your body, and it gives you really very accurate information about where you are out of balance and where you are in balance, where your body systems are. So it does your muscles, your bones. You can do it for your teeth. I mean, the report is so, there's so much that goes into that report. I remember it goes into emotions, it goes into all the organs. So say your spleen, you're having trouble with your spleen, you didn't realize it. And it's not going to tell you you're having trouble with your spleen. It's going to say your spleen is out of balance by, here's the balance, that much or this much. And you can take that, and you can even take it to your doctor and say, hey, we were talking about this. I did a scan, and what can we do about this issue or that issue? But what it does, what's nice is, all of us have oils and supplements, and we're all trying to figure out what we need. This scan narrows it down. So to get yourself back into balance, we can do the top 10. We can do a whole bunch of things. And even your foods you eat. I did a few scans. I didn't have my own, obviously, scanner, but I had borrowed someone's, and we did scans. And one of the things was pesticides. And she said, pesticides? I don't have any pesticides in the house, but somehow she was exposed. I said, did your neighbor maybe spray the lawn? And she was like, oh. So that passive exposure, it showed up in her system. And it's just interesting. I thought it was very interesting that that's how it works. I mean, that it's that accurate. So I'm going to be getting that. I'm going to be getting trained. I have to get trained on it. I'm doing some training now. Then I have like a Zoom training with it. And as soon as I get it, I'm going to start making appointments. I do have to charge for it because I have to pay every month to keep that open, to keep that program going. So I will have to charge. And I haven't decided. I think I'm going to charge $25. I don't know if that's going to be across the board or if I'm going to charge a little less for my girls. Mm-hmm. So I have to figure that out still. But for Charlene, it would be awesome for you to have just a few people, not too many, because if you have too many, the scans are, they take a little bit of time. It's not 1-2 Itovy and you have your 10 oils and you figure it out. It's a lot more intense, and not intense, but there's a lot to it. It takes
longer to explain it.
Yeah, it takes a lot longer to explain. So if you had like 4 girls or 3 girls even, I could come up there, we could do some Itovy, and then what I thought of is we could take off, if they purchase so much, I'll take that maybe that cost off or something. Well, I have to still figure that out because I still have to, I still got to pay for it every month. But then you might get some more people interested too, because they'll be like, oh, so if I got that could help me. And they would know more of what they needed. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool.
I had checked into, this is over a year ago, someone that had a Zyto, and asked them, I reached out to them. They're not on my team. They're nowhere connected with us, but she did use Young Living, and I saw her sister goes to the Kingdom Hall. And anyway, $100. I said, there are 5 of us, because I had asked some of my girls, and she was going to charge us $100 each. Not total.
And the only way, really,
and she just said, we're not talking like she was coming hours away.
If you're an MD doctor, mm-hmm. And doctors have this machine.
Yes.
Doctors even have, I'm getting a Zyto Balance. They have Evox. They have some other ones that, these big doctors can use this kind of device, and then they can diagnose. I can't diagnose.
Right.
So I'm not going to be charging more than $25. I just want to get my money back for what I'm paying every month. But I can give you the information. We can go through it without me diagnosing you and say, okay, in your emotions, it says helpless or hopeless or anger, and you'll figure out, oh, that's because I've been feeling like this and this and this lately, and then it'll give you a supplement or an idea of what you could use at that time.
Yeah.
And it also says you shouldn't get more than 1 scan a month. So you shouldn't scan again because it may not be as accurate, because it's just the way it works. I guess it's just like some of these other things, like I was reading, like a lie detector test. They don't take another lie detector test right after it. You get that one chance to be truthful. Or if you have one of those, Apple bracelets or whatever those are called, those fitness trackers, it's for right then. What were you doing right that minute? So anyway, that was my exciting news. I'm pretty excited about it. I've been hemming and hawing. Kim and Barbara both have iToby, and you're still welcome to do that. Kim may get an extra hand set. If she gets that extra hand, we put on our hand on, I can do it remotely. So anybody like Tammy, anybody in Indiana that's close to her, we can still do it. And I will get the information and send it to you, because I email everybody your whole set of reports.
Yeah. I'm excited about that because I've always wanted one done. It's much more detailed. Even though I haven't had one, I've read enough to know it's much more detailed than an iToby other is. And I love my iToby to give me an idea, but this one goes into a lot more detail, especially when it gets into your food and things like that. So that's pretty exciting. Yes, Diane.
I want an appointment.
Okay. As soon as I get it, I will be taking appointments, because I can't do it every single day, but I think I'm going to take probably an afternoon and book a couple one week, book a couple another week, and see how it goes, how many people want them. Because another sister already said I want an appointment, and I'm like, definitely. I just have to, probably have to figure out when somebody has meetings. When when do you have meeting? I have a meeting on Wednesday, so that wouldn't be good for me. But maybe a Monday afternoon or something. I might take Mondays and block that out and do that. But yeah, definitely. As soon as I get it and I get finish my training, I will let you know.
Yeah.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
girls. So that's it. It's an exciting month. Next month is Young Living Convention. So don't forget, if that interests you at all, we have until June 10th to buy our virtual ticket. If you want to attend that, it's all done on Zoom. Donna is opening a Zoom.
Yeah, I'll open my Zoom like I usually, like we've been doing the last couple of years, where we'll watch the convention together, and we'll be on Zoom, and then we can chat and talk and laugh. And
so most of that doesn't start. I mean, I know Donna will open a little early, but it starts at 9, the actual convention where they start doing stuff. 9 Mountain Time, which is 11 our time. So it's not like an early morning thing. It's actually later morning to early afternoon. So I can't think of anything else. If anyone
Thank you for all your expertise. It was very interesting.
You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Every one of you, grab your frankincense. It's on sale.
frankincense is awesome.
Frankincense is awesome. Marvin takes it every day. 3 drops of frankincense, 3 drops of Kobayiba, and then he adds another oil. If you want to know, message me. He adds another. So it's frankincense.
Or you can stop recording and we can talk privately.
You're right. I'm going to stop recording right now. Let me hit the